scene with Albany State.
I apologize for keeping everyone waiting. We just had a pretty special moment at the 50 midfield of the Rose Bowl. Stan McKay proposed to his girlfriend, and she's now his fiance, so it was pretty awesome. The whole team was out there. It was a pretty special moment. Good win tonight against a really good football team, and I just, I'm proud of these guys. I think they just continue to show grit and resilience and toughness, and all those things that make a special football team. And so we're still in the hunt. It's we got another week to play. We're calling our championship drive here. So it's week 4 now coming up. Arizona State's coming in here. They're an excellent football team. I think this, it was tough playing on a Friday night because it was a short week, but I think it's going to really benefit us. It's going to give us an extra day to heal up. I don't really have any injury updates. You saw Malcolm take a pretty good hit. He seemed like he was doing well after the game. Caleb took a little bit of a hit. I'm not sure if it was his shoulder or his neck. But Ben Wysocki went in and did a really nice job there. We had Jordan James suited up, but we held him, and so we'll be getting him back this week. I'm sure there'll be some questions about Miles, and I think we scored 6 touchdowns in a row without an offensive player scoring. That's just, to me, that's just it just speaks to Noel and this whole staff, their creativity, their willingness to use whatever talent we have in whatever capacity. I think it speaks to the selflessness of our players, not only the guys that go in and score, but the guys that come off the field. You don't see any griping or complaining. Offensive players want to be on the field when offensive plays and they want to score touchdowns. But the most important thing is winning, and so they've embraced it, and it's a really good thing. And to me, it's just an indication of the character of these players. So I'm excited. I'm fired up. We're still in it. We're 8-2, and we got to keep going. We got to keep playing hard, and we got to keep winning. So.
Thanks. Joseph DiPolito, Seattle Times. Jim, what makes Miles unique as a running back, and what did you see in Washington's defense that you felt he would be very effective against?
I think it was less about Washington's defense and more just about Miles, us needing a running back, him having some special qualities. He's a 6'1" plus kid who weighs 225 pounds, can run fast. You see how hard he runs. He gets the extra yards. But it's quite a burden. I think what he had 12 carries tonight. And you combine that with all the defensive snaps that he played. I mean, that's hard. He plays on teams too. But he's 18. He recovers quick. And, he's got a big heart, and he wants his team to win, and he'll do whatever it takes.
Coach Steve Hartman, KTLA over here. Coach, with Miles Jack, I mean, are you setting any limits at all, or are you just sort of doing the eyeball test and what you see out there?
Well,
looking ahead, I mean, huge games, obviously, all these games, the rest of the way. Could you actually add more plays, use him even more at the running back position than he's already been used?
That's a great question. It's tough. It's kind of a dance. You got to decide how much you can use him without hampering his ability to be effective doing what we're asking him to do. I think tonight was a good mix. Getting Jordan James back and hopefully getting Damian Thigpen back next week should really help us in the run game. But Miles is a weapon. But like I've said I said last week and this week, is that you just can't go crazy with it, because if you do, then his effectiveness is going to decline on both sides of the ball, and that's not going to help us. This guy's an outstanding linebacker. I mean, he's as good a linebacker as you're going to find in America at that, for a freshman. And that's where he loves to play, and that's where we love to play him. But we're gonna continue to use him.
Jim, is there any thought though? He's so effective. A lot of people gasped when he got a little bit banged up on defense for a second there. Why are you even? I hate to. That sounds weird, like a weird question. Why risk him on defense if he's your best offensive weapon?
I knew you were going there. Yeah. Here's why, Bill. Is that there's so much more to being a running back than just carrying the ball. Protection. The protection aspect is so undervalued, and nobody ever talks about it. All you see is a guy carrying the ball. He's got to be able to stand in there and know who to block when they blitz. And he's not going to learn that now. It's too late in the process. So if he's just out there every time we hand him the ball, eventually, Arizona State's got a heck of a defense now. They're gonna be zeroed in on him. So that's why, but we'll keep using him over there.
And Jim, you've talked about one championship game after another coming up here. What do you see with your guys that this is the second week that you've had a very tough game? And what do you see that you feel they're going to be able to get through these intense games after intense games?
Yeah. Well, I love the intense, hard-fought games that you gotta grind out and win, because I think it reveals your character. I think it builds character, and I think it helps us grow as a football team. As we all know, we are very, very. I mean, it's an understatement. We're so young. It's amazing, and so these kids are having to grow up fast and do some special things in extreme environments quickly. You know, we start 8 freshmen or whatever. I don't know. And we're asking a lot of them. They keep rising up to it. And I love that. I love it for now, and I love it for the future. You know, it's teaching us how to win. It's teaching us how to grind out wins in tough environments against good teams. When it's close, when it's a gut check. Not when it's easy. When it's easy, it's easy. When it's hard, man, that's when you find out about your guys. So that's what I like about it.
I was watching tonight as it came off, and granted, this was a very tough game, but it looked like a very weary group of guys.
Our guys?
Yeah, is there some
they're tired.
fatigue
Oh,
concerns?
Yeah, no, there's no concerns. I mean, they got 2 days now to recover. They're, like I said, they're kids. Remember, you recover pretty quick. And plus, there's that incentive that we've got something that we're after, and it's still available to us. So they get over it quick, and then we just have to do a good job of a staff of monitoring where they are and keeping them sharp for Saturday of next week, and that's what we'll do.
Hey, Jim, to your left, Kurt Sandoval with ABC. You've been talking for a couple of weeks now about this championship environment. As a man who spent so much time in the NFL, do you feel a playoff atmosphere, or is it completely different, the atmosphere you're going through right now?
With our kids, with our young men, it's a little different. They're younger, but they grasp it. They understand what's at stake. They understand why it's important that every week they prepare hard, and get their rest and recover and do things right, and they're doing that. But I'll tell you what, if this was the NFL 5-week playoff, that's a long time. Man. No, I'm really proud of them. The crowd tonight was great. I mean, I just think all these people come out on a Friday night in LA at 6 o'clock, 6:01 kickoff, and you get a crowd like that, that's pretty special. I don't know what the attendance was. I don't care. Everyone that was there made an effort to get out, and that was huge for this. And I'll tell you what, we appreciate it. Our players appreciate it. Walking out there, seeing people fired up about what they're doing, I mean, it makes it special for them. And it's we're creating something here that we're really excited about and really proud of.
Jim, Gary George, Inland Valley News. Talk about as far as the adjustment defensively, especially when Washington was making that big push and came pretty close.
Yeah, they made push after push after push. It's a really good football team and a really good offense, and they're capable of doing some great things offensively. You look at their statistics, and that you see that. What we did is we went to a lot more man defense. We came up with a little pressure there towards the end of the first half that we repeated a number of times. They took advantage of it a few times, hitting us down the field, and we had some man coverages. They've got a heck of a receiving core, But I think Lou Spanos and Jeff Olbrich and Demetrius Martin and Angus McClure and our GAs have done a great job all year of adjusting throughout the game. Not just at halftime, but throughout the game. And they're really good football coaches, and our players accept it and they understand it, and then they go out and they apply it.
Jim, to your left, Dan Greenspan, NFL.com. Did you sense any frustration in Anthony before he finally got off the schneid and got that sack in the second half?
Not really. Anthony's a consummate team player. I've never heard him once complain about not getting the sack or not getting past rush opportunities. You go back and you look at what we've asked him to do in a couple games this year, specifically Oregon and last week against Arizona, is we've asked him to play what's called a 4-eye, which means inside shade of the tackle at 250 pounds. This is one of the premier defensive players and pass rushers in America. And you know what? He just does it. He doesn't say a word. He just does it. He does his best of his ability. And to me, that's what our team is. It's just a bunch of young, hungry guys that are willing to do whatever it takes for their team. And I love that.
Any other questions?
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.